Hey witches! Today is day 10 of the 31 days of tarot, and the hashtag 31 days of tarot is created by Ethany. I will link her below. And today's theme is what tarot decks would I like to work with more in 2018. Now, I feel like I have a long list, so we'll see how it goes. I have 3 decks in my possession currently. I also have some decks that are being swapped this week. So I will show you the 3 decks that I'm working with currently that I want to continue to work with this year. And then I have some images on my phone I will try and show you all or what's coming to me and I'm looking forward to playing with. The first deck is one I just received, and I did a swap. My goal, and I think I should be finishing this goal this week, is to swap out all the decks I no longer resonate with for decks that I hopefully do resonate with and will use more rather than just letting them sit and collect dust. I'm all about some tarot collecting. I have a couple of decks I collect and don't use, but those resonate with me. I don't just collect for, I'm not a completist when it comes to it. So I just traded this deck with my Chrysalis Tarot. I loved the Chrysalis Tarot when I first got it, but after a couple of years of use, I just no longer resonated with it. And I kind of blame pregnancy hormones because I bought the deck and I used it when I was pregnant. But after I had my son, I just didn't connect with it anymore. So I'm grateful that it's with a new home and that she's loving it. And then she sent me the Archaean Tarot. And the art is by Timothy Lance. And I loved this, the artwork when I saw this, and I couldn't remember, it seemed familiar to me and I couldn't recall where I saw it from. But then I looked at his website and he did the artwork for Clockwork Heart. That's right, yeah, Clockwork Heart. And I love steampunk stuff, so that's something that's big with me. I'm just going to show you a couple of the cards and then move on to the next deck. Here's the 3 of Swords, 8 of Wands. There's a lot of nudity in this deck, so if nudity turns you off with a deck, then this is probably not the deck for you. But, not all the figures are nude. Ironically, of course, the figures that are more likely not to be nude are male. But it is what it is. There's the Magician. And it just feels like a paranormal romance novel or a steampunk novel or something like that. I could definitely see myself using this deck for my writing. Darker themes, very, I don't know, I just really like the art style more than anything. I've yet to use this to read for others. I'm still becoming acquainted with it. So we'll just have to see how that goes. So I'll put that up. I'm also in the process of making a home for it. My lovely sister, Akinida, is sending me some yarn that matches the colors on this deck. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, here's the back. It shows the full. So anyway, I'm looking forward to playing with that deck. I will be posting hopefully soon. I have a very full editorial calendar right now, but I should be posting my interview with this deck. I do an interview spread when I'm bonding with a deck, so that should be coming up in a couple of Tarot Tuesdays coming up. It should come up soon. Some of you will recognize this deck from other videos. This is the Silver Era Tarot. I got this in a swap last year, and I am still really in love with this deck. I'm still enjoying playing with it. The artwork is just so, I just love it. I didn't expect to love it as much as I do. Because it's so modern and photographic and stuff like that. And normally I don't resonate with decks like that, but this has such a vibe of a silent film, and it really resonates with like the goth girl in me and the darker decks that I like. So there's the Tower. These are a lot shinier than the other decks, so I'm going to try Magician. My only issue that I have with this deck, to be honest, is the cards are really thick. Really thick. I don't know if you can get like a really good idea on the camera. But it does make for a very blocky deck that's, it's interesting to shuffle. So there's the Hierophant. So, but I do love this deck. Everybody I show it to is like, I love that deck. So I still need to make another home for it. I'm back and forth because I normally make a home. I usually make a case or a box for each of my decks as part of my bonding process, but this one comes with such a sturdy box that's got the magnetic closure, and it's sturdy. I mean, it's cardboard, but it's real sturdy, so I don't know. I put it off because I can't decide if I'm going to do that or not. The last one in my possession that I'm going to be playing with is another swap. I don't know that I'll be buying a new deck for a little while, though I've got my wish list. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'll try not to make any promises I can't keep. This is the Hermetic Tarot. I was back and forth by getting this because the images are not a style that I actually like, but it kept calling to me, and I'm glad I did because it's actually the Golden Dawn references and the higher magic references are something I need right now. They help me with my studies. So, yeah. Chariot. I like this part at the bottom. I don't know if you can really see it. Anyway, it has other terms for each of the cards. So like Chariot is Lord of the Triumph of Light. And it might seem meaningless, but the more I meditate with these cards and I enter into the card in meditation, the more those terms make sense to me. Like the devil, which I don't have in my hand at the moment, but the devil is, or I guess I do have the whole deck in my hand, but I don't have it just ready to show you, is the Lord of the Gates of Matter. And after doing a really in-depth meditation with that card, that title made so much more sense. So again, well, I'm not thrilled. Let me see if I can show. Okay, actually, no, that's a good one. This is the Queen of Pentacles, and the artwork just isn't very inspiring to me. It's a lot going on. The symbols are all there. So I get it for us like a study purpose, but it's very, it's kind of messy. It's just not aesthetically pleasing to me, but I can read them really well. They're working with reading. They're working with my meditations and my studies, so I can't complain too much. So I don't know. It's a love-hate relationship right now with these cards, but I do hope to work with them some more going on into the year because of my astrological studies, my high magic studies with tarot and with practical magic work with this deck. I have the box for these, but I'm currently keeping them in my working bag. This is the bag that I hang on my bed when I'm doing dream work with the tarot and stuff like that. So that's where they're at. I have 2 tarot decks coming to me right now. One of them, I've been told, is really more of a oracle deck, to not use it too much like a tarot deck, and that is the Good Tarot. This isn't going to work at all. Anyway, I've got the Good Tarot coming to me, and I'm told to treat it more like an oracle deck because it doesn't have a lot of the imagery like a regular tarot deck does. The other deck, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, guys, is the Tarot of the Vampires. Nope, you're not going to be able to see it. Too much glare. Alright, it's the Tarot of the Vampires by Ian Daniels. And I don't know if that's the writer or the artist or both. I initially was turned off by this deck because it's I don't know, it just, the images in it, the people in it didn't appeal to me. They were all pretty much the same. They looked too much like just the same person in each deck. But you could say the same thing of the Silver Era Tarot. So, but the more I looked at it, the more I liked it. It makes me think of my love for Anne Rice novels, the very much a work in progress vampire novel I'm writing or was writing. I've set it down for a while, and I think that maybe this deck will inspire me to write more, perhaps. So we'll see. Anyway, so that's 5 tarot decks so far that I want to work with this year. We will see what comes of it. As far as like my readings with my clients, I usually stick with the Rider-Waite because people resonate with it, I guess. I have less issues when it comes to doing my readings with my clients, as far as less resistance when I use that deck. So I try not to use darker decks when I read for my clients. However, I have used the Silver Era Tarot when I'm reading with my clients, and that's worked out really well too. So I might just switch over to it. We'll see. I usually pick my decks depending on what client I'm working with. So every once in a while, I have to bring out the top deck to if it's a more tricky or difficult situation. But normally it's the Rider-Waite, and then now the Silver Era is coming up a lot more. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So yeah, this is why I have multiple tarot decks. 1, I like to collect. 2, I like the artwork. And then 3, I have different purposes for the decks. So like personal meditations and study, readings with my clients, readings for myself, writing. So yeah, lots of tarot decks. That's what I'm working with so far this year, going into 2018. I love this challenge. Thank you, Ethany, for doing this challenge. I can't wait to see what the other tarot readers are up to. Thanks for watching.